She stood there, a frozen silhouette, trapped in the weight of the moment. My words, cutting through the air, had exposed a hidden truth she guarded so fiercely, and she offered no defense, no protest, only an oppressive silence, as though shame had anchored her to the ground. I could see the disloyalty in her eyes, the veil of guilt that clung to her as she looked back at me. Her lips parted, and she murmured, "It meant nothing." Her voice, a fragile whisper, seemed to hang in the air, a threadbare attempt to dismiss the enormity of what we had lost. But in that instant, something inside me snapped into clarity. If something so fleeting, so insignificant to her, could unravel everything we'd built, everything I'd given her, then perhaps I had never truly mattered to her at all. For 4 years, we had shared a quiet kind of love. It wasn't the kind of feverish passion you see in movies, the whirlwind that consumes you. Ours was steady, built on the small moments, the rituals of everyday life. Shopping trips, playfully bickering over movies, comforting each other after the toughest days. It was a bond, quiet yet unbreakable, woven into the fabric of our daily existence. But now, as I stood there, everything seemed so distant, so foreign. I couldn't remember when the cracks began to form, when the distance first crept in. Betrayal isn't always an explosion. Sometimes it's a slow erosion of trust, a subtle creep of dishonesty so gradual that you don't even realize you're losing your way until you're lost in it. It started with late-night phone calls, always dismissed as work-related. The warm kisses that once greeted me when she came home faded into an empty claim of exhaustion. She changed, new clothes, a smile that didn't reach her eyes, her focus shifting from me to the glow of her phone screen. I tried to tell myself it was nothing, to reassure myself that I was just imagining things. But deep down, I felt it, the slow unraveling of something sacred. Then, on an ordinary Tuesday, everything shattered. She left her phone unlocked, a rare moment of carelessness. I wasn't snooping. I was simply reaching to set her alarm when a message caught my eye. The word struck me like a blow to the chest. Asterisk last night was unforgettable. I can't get you out of my mind. I want to fall asleep in your arms again. Asterisk, he called her sweetheart. She called him my love. I didn't react right away. I didn't throw the phone or demand an explanation. I didn't wake her up to confront her. I simply sat there, staring at the screen, feeling the weight of betrayal so crushing it left me breathless. The words on the screen were foreign, like a language I never wanted to learn. I rose quietly, gathered a few things, and left without a word. She had made her choice, and so had I. That first night, I found solace on Tom's couch. I poured my heart out to him, and he listened, his silence louder than any words could have been. Sometimes that's all you need, someone to bear witness to your pain without judgment. But that night, as I lay there, I didn't cry for her. I cried for the man I had become, a hollow version of myself, worn, guarded, diminished by the love I had given so freely. I felt like I had been the punchline of a cruel joke that I couldn't understand. At work, I went through the motions, offering smiles where they were expected, but inside, I was an empty shell. Months later, I tried to move on. I went on dates, kind women with honest smiles and warm hearts. But every time someone got too close, I recoiled. Trust, once broken, doesn't heal easily. The scars it leaves behind are deep, and they don't fade with time. A year passed, and then she reappeared. I was unlocking my door, tired and covered in paint, after a long day's work, when I heard the hum of an engine pulling up. I turned and saw her, a shadow of the woman I once knew. Her hair was longer, her face paler, eyes red from sleepless nights. "Hi," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Can we talk?" I stood frozen, a silent observer of the woman who had once been my everything. Now just a stranger standing before me, clutching a crumpled letter. "I wrote this months ago," she said, her voice trembling. "I wasn't ready to face you until now. I let her inside, not out of any desire to forgive, but out of sheer curiosity. I needed to hear the words she had held back for so long." She sat on the couch where we had once dreamed of a future together, her sobs heavy and raw. "He didn't love me," she confessed. "At first it was exciting, but it faded quickly. I realized too late what I had destroyed. Her voice broke as she spoke, but no words could undo the damage her betrayal had caused. "I don't expect you to take me back," she said. "I just need to say I'm sorry. I was selfish. I ruined something real, and I regret it every day." She looked at me, her eyes filled with sorrow, waiting for me to say something, anything. But in that moment, I saw the woman I had loved, the one I had once imagined growing old with. But that image was fleeting, dissolving like smoke. I hadn't walked away because my love for her had died. I walked away because hers had. Standing there, I met her gaze, steady and unwavering. I spent a year rebuilding myself. I said, my voice calm, learning to live without constantly questioning if I was being lied to. You can't burn everything down and expect the ashes to take shape again. She nodded, her tears falling silently, offering no excuses, only shared sorrow. But it wasn't my burden to carry anymore. She left as quietly as I had a year before. No pleas, no desperate arguments, just silence. When the door closed behind her, I didn't feel the need to weep, nor did I feel the urge to smile. I felt steady, grounded, at peace for the first time in a long while. I didn't take her back, not because my love for her had faded, but because I had learned to value myself more. If you've ever walked away from someone who betrayed you, only to have them return as if nothing happened, know this: longing for them doesn't make you weak. Refusing to let them wound you again makes you stronger. Sometimes, the greatest act of courage is to close a door that once broke you and never look back.